Welcome back, Blue Raider Nation, for another season preview, but this time we're doing volleyball, and we have the lovely head coach, Alexa Keckler, here with us, first-year coach for the Blue Raiders. How you feeling, Coach?
Hey, doing great. Yeah, excited for the season to get underway and start competing someone other than ourselves.
Exactly. When you first got onto campus and you were trying to, hold on to the reins and just really take each step day by day, what were the first steps in trying to develop such a young team that you have right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest aspect right now is just trying to create trust and camaraderie on the court. You know, you have 3 returning players from last year, 1 player who was, a contributor, and we have 14 newbies. So a lot of youth and a lot of just working together, figuring out how each other play, figuring out, what I can expect from my teammates on the court, what they need from each other when they're doing well, when they might be struggling. So it's been a lot to take in those things, but then also, they're learning our way of teaching and our expectations on the court. So I think for the most part, it's just been trying to make sure we're offering a lot of patience and grace with one another because, we want to be competitive and we want to achieve the things that we're being asked, but we also need to know that it's a lot to take on, and they've been really, really awesome in the gym.
I know you're big on energy exchange with you and your players, with your coaches, overall, all of it.
Yes.
With your players, how do you think they've been adapting or gravitating towards that mindset that you have?
Yeah, actually, I think it's been great. Our energy's been really awesome. There's been a couple of players that have said, like, it's so loud in our gym. I'm not used to that. So I think that's good that they're communicating. They are bringing in good energy. They were a hoot the other day getting ready for practice, and they just started line dancing from our team bonding that we did the other week. So, I think there's a lot of positivity, and, we just have to continue to embrace that and understand there's going to be some ups and downs, but kind of coming back to that foundation and keeping each other in check.
You do have some leaders on your team with Peyton, with AON, Caroline. How do you think they're helping assist you in this transition? Because, you've brought in some new coaches as well. You're starting from the ground up.
Yeah.
But how is that going?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Caroline and Peyton have been really great. They're very good at holding people accountable in a good way, and pointing out, like, hey, these are our expectations. We have to meet that. The team's worked really, really well at kind of creating who and what we want to be, and talking about the discipline that we need to have in the gym and pointing that out when it's not there, and recognizing, how important it is to be supportive of one another while still remaining accountable to themselves. And Peyton and Caroline have been very good at that. Marie's been bringing a lot of energy in the gym as well, so that's been really great to see. So, yeah, I think there's some good things forming.
How are you came in the spring, but how are you able to prove and to show the players that had already committed to this team before you got the reins of this new era? How have you been able to tell them, like, hey, I'm in it for the long haul, and I want to make this program the best that it can be? How have you been showing them that?
Yeah, I mean, I hope just every day in our actions and my actions that we are here for the long haul, and it's not, we talked about this yesterday, like, Rome was not built in a day, so it's going to take a little time, and if we expect to be perfect, in our first match, we're going to be disappointed. We have to be patient and understand it's going to take some commitment. It's going to take some time, and I think I said this when we spoke the last time, but it's hard to show them how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So they don't really care about what we know until they know that we really care about them. And hopefully they're feeling that by our actions and how we're communicating and what we're expecting from them, and that it's not just an easy roll in and roll out. Like, they got to put in the time, they got to work, and that there are people who are expecting to see some great things, but it's a together type of a thing.
You mentioned 14 new players, but there's a lot of youth on this team. There is, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be a great thing.
Yeah.
So looking at the specific positions that you have, if you want to go into depth of each one, how has that been, trying to really develop them and just, be there, nurturing them, make sure that they are ready come game time?
Yeah, I mean, I think with any first-year athlete, it's usually a roller coaster ride. There are good days. There's tough days. They're taking in a lot, not just being away from home, but learning new systems, learning new language, learning how to play next to different people on the court. So I think a lot of it is just about trusting what they're hearing, trusting their teammates that are next to them, being disciplined in what we're asking them. And, right now it is really about, we have to be repeatable in our processes and not so worried about the outcome with everything, but just making sure that we're going back to, this is what we're talking about. This is how we train. This is what we're expecting when we pass, when we run our offense. And so as long as we continue to go back to that for the first years, creating and establishing that continuity and that repeatability, I think they'll continue to grow throughout the season for sure.
For Peyton Deidesheimer, the senior transfer from Austin P, on paper right now, she's the only right side hitter on paper. Mm-hmm. But how are you going to maybe interchange that? Are you just really depending on her on that side, or where's that your mindset with that?
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple players that can play there. Aowen can play there. Kalia, one of our first years, can play there. So I think we have some flexibility with that. I mean, Peyton's a heavy arm, good blocker, so obviously that's good to see from that position. But yeah, we also have the ability to switch some people into that role as well.
International-wise, you have 4, I believe, international student athletes coming over here. We're in this new era now where it's possible to bring these kids over and just let them show their talents from overseas. But for MTSU, how has that been, being able to cultivate different cultures into your program?
Honestly, it's been a really rewarding experience. I even think for some of our first years, not having played with international players, to think about an athlete coming and never having played with an NCAA molten ball. Like that was was really like, oh wow, you've never played with this kind of ball before. So I think there's a lot of newness. I also think there's an appreciation that they have that's a little different than players who are here from the States. So I think that's even cultivated that attitude of gratitude of, wow, like we get to be here, and oh yeah, I get to be here too. This is really awesome. So that's been awesome to see a different style of play. So remembering how to, communicate rotations in different languages, and so that's been a little bit of a challenge, but really fun. So I love it. I think it brings a whole new aspect to the court, which has been really cool.
Today you have an exhibition match against Tennessee Tech. This might publish later on to date, but as of right now, on this Wednesday, your first exhibition match. What are you feeling? How are you excited? Are you, or where, what are you telling the girls?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's just, I want to see us against somebody that's not us. We're in like week 2, and it starts to get monotonous when we're playing and the same people. And so to me, it's just it's a clean slate. Let's see where we need to go. Let's see what we've been working on and how that impacts today, and then let's see what we need to focus on between here and next Friday when we open up. So I think those are the biggest goals of today, is let's really see how we stack up against someone who's not ourselves, and then let's start to tackle that.
Something that's different with volleyball that's not like football or basketball, yes, with certain things, the consistency, but you all most of the time play a different team every single day that I've been noticing on your schedule, or at least even sometimes when you're going to tournaments like next week, you're playing 2 different teams in one day. Yeah. How hard is that, being able to transition, just trying to prepare your girls for each competitor that you face? Yeah,
I mean, I think the biggest thing is making sure that they're staying fueled and healthy. So when you're playing a lot of matches, you're doing a lot of jumping, you have a kid that's on the court for 6 rotations, like they're putting out a lot. So it's just making sure that they're staying healthy, and then kind of going back to like, what do they actually need to know for each match, and what does the coaching staff need to know? So sometimes I think we overload our players with information, and then they're thinking about so much stuff that they can't actually just do the easy thing. So I feel like in those moments, it's really focusing on the little things, like just do your job, focus on what your transition looks like or what your serve receive looks like. And, we'll adapt from a staff of like giving you feedback on where to hit or who to serve at or what to be prepared to defend. But I think in those moments, we're all in the same boat. So it's not like we're playing 3 matches and someone else is only playing 1. So we're all kind of in that similar ride together. So it is focus on us, focus on the little things that we can do. And, with each set, each match, we just continue to like grow and develop within that.
What do you think will be the biggest test for this group of girls in the 2025-2026 season?
Yeah, I think probably just, kind of grinding out some of our matches. And, we're going to have a lot of youth, so we're going to have to be okay with the ups and downs that it brings, and not allow our emotions to go with that. So there's going to be matches where we're going to look really great, and there's going to be matches where we're like, oh no, yep, we have 4 freshmen on the floor, or we have 3 newcomers on the floor. Like, there's going to be moments of that, and I think we just need to be consistent with our feedback, consistent with what we're actually pushing to accomplish on the court, and not allowing our emotions to go into that roller coaster, but being really steady with what our energy looks like and what our focus is for each match.
I've talked to Peyton, I've talked to Gabby, the freshman outside hitter, I've talked to a lot of them, and yes, a Conference USA championship would be amazing. That would, that's definitely on the list of what you all want to check off. But for you as a coach, with a lot of these girls playing at this new level for them, months down the line after this season is said and done, what do you want to make sure that these girls know that they really should be, striving for?
Yeah, I mean, again, I would probably go back to that consistency and that foundation. Like, if we're going to be peaking at the right time, we can't get caught up in like what we're not doing right now in this moment. We just have to continue to trust that process of every day I'm coming in and I'm training it the right way so I can repeat it day in and day out. And when we get to that point in the season where we need to be peaking, that we are peaking at that right point. And so I think looking back, hopefully in December, we can say, okay, we didn't waver from what our core values were. We didn't waver from our foundation. We stayed with it, and we got stronger with that, and our performance got better with that. So it's really easy in the beginning when if things aren't working, you just want to blow it all up and start all over and change something. And my hope is that we can really stay connected and grounded in what our values are from now until the end of the season.
I can't wait to watch it. Yes, well, thank you so much, Coach. I
Yes.
appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of your season, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you again.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It was great to speak.